Are you in the market for a new family vehicle? Well, the space, comfort, and utility of the compact SUV make it an excellent choice for all those kiddo hauling duties. The problem is there are just so many entries into this segment, it is super tricky to figure out where to even start.
And that's where we come in. We tested 8 brand new compact SUVs to see which one of them was the best.
We assessed everything from driving performance to car seat fitment, from real-world gas mileage to cargo space, and at the end, we had a clear favorite.
Here is our winner, the 2026 Volkswagen Tiguan SCL R-Line Turbo All-Wheel Drive, unseating the Nissan Rogue after that SUV won this competition for the last 3 times. What led to the Tiguan's win? Our judges scored it best in 7 out of 11 subjective categories, and it didn't lose a single subjective or objective category. Now, what does that mean? That means we really like this thing, and it didn't do anything to shoot itself in the foot. We rated the Tiguan tops in interior comfort and space. It scored first for both front seat and back seat comfort. It's got amenities like massaging front seats and this absolutely huge back seat space. I could sit back here all day perfectly comfortably, and I'm not exactly petite. Plus, if you've got a family with young kids, know that the Tiguan scored a perfect score in our car seat fitment tests. The interior quality is off the chart in here. The materials are outstanding. The designs are appealing. It feels like a near luxury vehicle in here for the same money as most of the rest of these not as nice competitors. But the Tiguan's win is not just about how nice and roomy it is, it's a blast to drive as well, scoring top marks from our judges in both handling and powertrain. Is it perfect? Not entirely. Despite this being a massive 15-inch touchscreen with really good clarity and super quick operation, we're not huge fans of all of its functions. It's still a little confusing to use, especially some of these touch-sensitive climate controls. Overall, the Volkswagen Tiguan owes its win to a combination of having a really luxurious interior, tons of passenger space, plenty of amenities, and excellent driving dynamics, combined with the fact that it didn't lose a single one of the categories in which we rated it. For the money, the Volkswagen Tiguan is without a doubt the best compact SUV that we tested.
The Honda CR-V Hybrid finished first in our ride quality category, tied for first in visibility, but in nearly every judging category was near the top, giving it a second place finish for our second compact SUV challenge in a row. The CR-V walked away with our ride quality category. It's comfortable and composed whether we were on city streets, cruising on the highway, carving up canyon roads. It's just a really pleasant vehicle to drive. Even if Honda tunes their suspensions a little on the stiff side, this was the ride quality king. If you're concerned about fuel efficiency, the CR-V Hybrid was the second most efficient in our test at 34.4 miles per gallon, behind only the Toyota RAV4. The CR-V is also spacious, with the third largest cargo area in our test at just over 20 cubic feet. The interior of the CR-V Hybrid may not be as well appointed as a Volkswagen Tiguan, but it's just as well built. The materials, build quality, all feel top-notch. It's not quite pushing luxury, but it's pushing quality. With a nearly $45,000 starting price, the CR-V Hybrid is one of the most expensive in the test, but is held back by missing features that less expensive competitors have, like a 360-degree camera system, head-up display, or ventilated seats. To do well in our challenges, an SUV has to perform in pretty much every category, and the CR-V certainly does. It's very good to drive, it's fuel efficient, and it's spacious. It's a well-rounded compact SUV, and it's sure to tick a lot of shoppers' boxes.
The Hyundai Tucson Hybrid's strong third place finish is thanks primarily to its excellent interior, which is both upscale, at least on this top-level limited trim, and is just cram-packed with all sorts of very clever cargo storage solutions, basically anywhere you look. Tech is pretty good too, at least on this limited trim. We've got dual 12.3-inch center displays here, one for the digital driver's display and one for the center touch infotainment, which, yes, does include wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And if you're into this kind of thing, we've got a nifty touch capacitive panel here on the lower center stack that controls all of the climate functions. And of course, you've got a wireless device charging pad here on the center console. Back to storage. The Tucson nabbed the best score for in-cabin stowage with tons of ingenious nooks and crannies to cram all your crud. Plus, it has an expansive back cargo storage area with a test best just shy of 22 cubic feet of capacity. Ultimately, it was the Tucson's poor ride quality that knocked it down in the rankings, scoring just 1 point better than the worst in test Kia Sportage. It feels both heavy and squishy with some notable body undulations over broken pavement. Regardless of its driving-related score, the Tucson has one heck of an interior with excellent packaging and buku creature comforts. A well-earned podium finish.
The Kia Sportage Hybrid came in solidly mid-pack in most of the categories in which we tested it. It scores high in terms of amenities and value, but it comes up a little short in that whole good to drive part. We can't deny the value of this thing, though. It won our value category outright. For the money, you get a lot of good stuff, like a panoramic moonroof, heated and ventilated front seats, and even heated rear seats. It might not look so big on the outside, but it's got it where it counts inside, with 21.5 cubic feet of cargo space, which puts it second only to the slightly bigger Hyundai Tucson Hybrid. So what held the Kia Sportage back in the scoring? Well, the ride and handling aren't that great, especially over broken, rough pavement. Out on the highway, it'll send the Kia Sportage dancing in its lane and you holding on for dear life. The Kia Sportage Hybrid scored solidly mid-pack in most of the categories in which we tested it, doing well in things like features and amenities, but coming up a little bit short in that whole good to drive part.
The Toyota RAV4 is great to drive and the most efficient SUV in our test, but a plasticky interior that's both cheap and bland leaves it behind when compared to the rest. The RAV4 is the most efficient SUV in our comparison, finishing our gas mileage test at 39 miles per gallon. That's right on its EPA estimated highway gas mileage and almost 5 miles per gallon better than second place. May not be surprising that a Toyota hybrid is efficient, but it is really good for RAV4 shoppers. In addition to being efficient, the RAV4's powertrain also impressed us with its smoothness and power, tying for first in our powertrain scoring with a very different kind of vehicle in the turbocharged Volkswagen Tiguan. There are things we like about the RAV4's interior. The front seats are comfortable. This dual opening console is pretty cool, and we love a physical gear selector, but the rest of it just disappoints. I mean, look at it. It's boring. It's bland. And on top of that, it's incredibly cheap feeling. There's hard plastic everywhere. Nothing in here feels nice. The redesigned RAV4 is certainly an improvement on the prior generation. It's efficient and fun to drive. But even with the lowest in-test price of just over $35,000, this RAV4's cheap interior left it behind.
The Jeep Cherokee is all new for the 2026 model year, and with it comes a new standard hybrid drivetrain, which we found to be both reasonably powerful and impressively efficient. But woohoo! Are there some interior quirks on this thing? We generally liked this new hybrid powertrain setup, and then coming only second to the Tiguan and the RAV4 in the judges powertrain category. And furthermore, it scored an impressive 34.2 observed miles per gallon on average in our road trip fuel economy test, which puts it mighty close to the Honda CR-V hybrid as well. What the heck is this steering wheel? I am not exaggerating when I say that this is the largest, thickest, and most cumbersome steering wheel that I have experienced in the past 15 years. Not hyperbole to say that this would even be kind of out of place, dimensionally at least, in even something like a Ram TRX. It's crazy. Very odd design decision. Speaking of odd, the interior doors are released via a push-button function. Very interesting. It also scored lowest in overall visibility with the high belt lines and low seating position, making it feel more like a bunker rather than a crossover. And it's really not all that comfortable up here, with only the Bronco Sport ranking lower in front seat comfort. The new Cherokee slots Jeep back into a very important corner of the market, but it is quite the departure away from the SUV you might remember, and its ergonomics might not be for everyone.
The Rock Creek trim level for the Nissan Rogue brings some off-road looks to the SUV, but its dated technology and the on-road behavior of some of those off-road bits didn't do it any favors in this test. The Rogue has better multimedia systems, but not in this Rock Creek trim. It scored last in vehicle user interface among our judges thanks to its small 8-inch screen and an almost unbelievable lack of wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The Rogue didn't score too well for quietness either, coming in last among our judges in cabin tranquility, thanks again to those knobbier all-terrain tires. Know what the all-terrain tires are good for? Ride quality. These tall, squishy sidewalls help the Nissan Rogue score second best in the ride quality category. Once our three-peat champion among compact SUVs, it's clear to us that the Rogue has been passed by fresher models, and this Rock Creek trim, it lacks the on-pavement polish of other Rogues that we've tested in the past.
With the Ford Escape ending production, that left the Bronco Sport as the Blue Oval's only small SUV, and so we invited it to see how it would fare against what were traditionally the Escape's competitors. And unfortunately, everything that makes this a great little off-road SUV makes it a poor choice for families. No matter how you slice it, the Bronco Sport is just not very big and not very comfortable. Front seat comfort was the lowest in test in the Ford, and it's missing a lot of features that other vehicles have, like a heated steering wheel, ventilated front seats, driver's seat position memory, or a moonroof. And look at how small this back seat is. The Bronco Sport got the lowest score for backseat comfort. My knees are planted into the front seat. My feet are entirely under the front seat. I at least have some headroom, but it's just not great back here, which means it's not really great for families. And also not great for families is the cargo area, which was the smallest in our test. The Bronco Sport got the lowest score in our gas mileage test, coming in at 29.3 miles per gallon, the only SUV to finish under 30. The Bronco Sport finished last in our objective value scoring because a lot of what you're paying for at nearly $40,000 is baked-in off-road capability and then accessories, things like this bash bar, the steel bumpers front and rear, the optional wheels and all-terrain tires, the roof rack. All of that makes it a good outdoorsy SUV, but the lack of comfort and convenience features relative to the rest of the SUVs here makes it a poor family SUV. The Ford Bronco Sport is fun and full of character, things you don't often find in compact SUVs these days, but it seems ill-equipped to fill the hole left by the Escape, and its practical shortcomings knocked it down to last place. If you're trying to decide which of these compact SUVs is right for you and your family, you can see the full results and how these SUVs performed in the categories that matter most to you at Cars.com.